Shalom Aleichem again to all our listeners here at Yerushalayim, our weekly few minutes of Chizuk on the Parsha. This week's video is sponsored for the speedy return of all the hostages and the safety of all Yidden in Eretz Yisrael and around the world. And also, it is sponsored for the speedy refuah shalema for Kalev Yosef Chaim Ben Leah, Shav refuah shalema b'koroit. A special thanks, of course, to all our partners here at Yerushalayim, the partners of the Koilel that support the Torah, that promote the Torah, that spread the Torah. It's an unbelievable thing. We thank you all. So we're holding over here in Parshas Mishpatim. Parshas Mishpatim, we know, has many different psukim that mention the details of halachos of Ben Adam v'chaveroi, all the things that are involving a man and his friend in regards to what he is allowed to do, what if he damages his friend, how much he owes his friend, and what he should do, v'chulei. Now, it's unbelievable to note that we all share in the same idea that many times when we're faced with situations, if you have two neighbors and one decides that they deserve a certain thing, or they deserve a certain area in the building, or they get to extend, and this one gets to extend, all of a sudden people start to say, hey, what about me? What about my needs? Now we understand that this is something that occurs many times in the Batei Dinim. In Batei Dinim they get to see two nice Yidden walking inside, and each one comes and says their claim, and this one says that this one's for sure wrong, and this one's for sure right, and this one's for sure wrong, and this one's for sure right. Everybody says what they feel is true, and many times it is true. But the problem is that there are also times where a person goes and sees that it's not that he feels that he's right because the Torah said that he's right. Rather, he just wants to go and make sure that his friend is not right, his friend doesn't win, and that's something which is not a midah Torah. But we know that the midah of vatronos, for giving in to another person, that a person, for the sake of shalom, of course, giving in and compromising for the sake of shalom is an unbelievable thing. I want to share an unbelievable story that I heard firsthand in one of my many visits to the house of Rav Chaim Kanievsky. Rav Chaim Kanievsky, Zecher Tzadik L'Bracha, once had a visitor from Bnei Brak who came to his house, and he asked him a shayla. He said, my neighbor, he has a furniture store. And not only does he have a store and different offices, but he also has an area in front of our building, since he lives on the first floor, where he gets to put all his furniture. And he lays out beds and couches and all types of furniture outside. And of course the neighbors are complaining, what is this? This is a public, this is our private building. What's going on over here? This is not a store. This is not a storefront. And he asked Rav Chaim, what can I do? I want to take him to Beis Din, and I want Beis Din to tell him that he can't do this. And I know that I'm right. And Rav Chaim said, you know what, you're 100% right. Al Pi Torah, you're 100% right. The Torah would tell you that you are okay and you're allowed to take him to Beis Din, and you will be right to tell him that he can't leave his furniture out there. But he told him, he said, I never saw that somebody who was mevater, he lost out by being mevater. I never saw somebody being mevater who lost out. So Chaim told him, it's better to be mevater. If you can give in, it's the best thing. A few days later, this person's son was playing in his room, and he jumped by the windowsill, and from the fourth floor where he lived, the son fell out the window. Shem Yerachim. Kodesh Baruch Hu decided differently. He made an unbelievable nace, and this boy fell on one of the beds that were outside that this person had left on display for other people to buy. And because of this person being mevater, we see clearly the nisim that Hashem saved this child, and so many brachas that continued from the fact that this person gave in, and he didn't go and take him to Beis Din, and he didn't go and decide to get into any rift with his neighbor anymore, but rather he was mevater. Unbelievable. This midah of vatronos, this midah of giving in and compromising is so important. It's something that we can all try to work on. It's something that we all need, because we see how much bracha is involved. This story itself was a story that involved a child who was saved. His life was saved. So Kodesh Baruch Hu should help, that we should have siyata d'shmaya to be able to be mevater when we need to be mevater. Of course, only after asking a rav, a rosh hashiva, a mashgiach, somebody who can go and guide us to tell us when the Das Torah says that we should be mevater. And of course, we should see a tremendous amount of bracha from this. Thank you all for listening, and thank you all for following. Have a wonderful Shabbos.